Here's Trey.
All right, let's go over our core values. I am destined. I am effective. I am strong. I am teachable. I am intelligent. I am noble. I am yours, Lord.
Can I get a little peace and quiet in here? I gotta be honest. It's easy to think about peace as a bubble. Ignoring the world so that you can chill out and get a little you time. Or maybe you think of peace as a simple agreement. You do your thing, I do mine. Then we don't have to worry about each other's problems or the ways we're different from each other. Or you might see peace as a big, grand thing. General, this treaty officially ends all wars. But true peace doesn't look like any of that. True peace is messy. It takes hard work and creativity. It says, how can I listen to you first before I speak? It says, how can I learn what it's like to walk in your shoes before I try to fix it? How can we get creative to find a way through? See, when you do the hard work of making peace, others can see God at work in you. That's why making peace is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship, it's about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
What are you doing?
I'm building a bridge. The waters are troubled. Cuckoo-ca-choo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo.
And Brandon, did you know that your fingernails grow 4 times as fast as your toenails?
Really?
Yes, and that you produce enough saliva to fill 2 bathtubs a year.
Cool. We need to get started.
Yeah, and eyelashes last for about 150...
So, hey, everybody, I'm Brandon, and this is Lawson, and welcome to the So-and-So Show.
Yes, where apparently you might get interrupted by your co-host.
Lawson, we need to get started with the show.
Yes, but you cut me off at a very crucial part of my fact-giving. Kids out there could be seriously questioning the lifespan of an eyelash. 150 what? Hours? Years? They don't know, Brandon. It's 150 days, by the way. Eyelashes last for 150 days.
Great. Are you done?
Yes.
Thank you.
Go! Did you know that your blood has the same percentage of salt as ocean water?
Actually, technically, the blood is saltier than seawater, if you read Wikipedia.
Brandon, you ruin everything.
Yeah, well, your facts aren't interesting.
Yeah, well, neither are your shoes.
You don't even know what shoes I'm wearing.
I don't need to.
Please welcome someone who knows stuff. Welcome. Come on in.
Guys.
Here you are.
I got it. I've got it.
No, it's...
Have a seat.
You sit here.
Now, tell us who you are and what you know.
Hey, I was supposed to ask her that.
You snooze, you lose.
Well, tell us who you are and what you know.
I already asked her.
Is everything okay here?
It's fine. Please continue. Tell us
Who you are and what you know.
Okay. Well, my name is Bridget, and I'm a professional mediator.
Brandon wants to know what a mediator is.
It's not true. I know it.
I'm glad you asked. A mediator is someone who makes peace. Someone who stands in the middle of a conflict, helping people compromise or agree. It's like building building a bridge from one person to another.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my name, Bridget. If there is a problem, that is what I do. I bridge it.
Oh.
Are you two okay? Do you need me to mediate?
We're fine.
How does mediating work exactly?
I'll show you. Let's bridge it.
You have to clean your room before we watch the movie.
But I can't do it in time.
Why do we always have this argument?
You can pretend you're a hero with super speed to clean your room lightning fast. And then you can wait until she's done before you start the movie. Problem solved.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Bridget.
Yeah, kitty. Come on, get your din. Oh, come on, don't make me walk way over there.
Oh! Bridget.
Give it to me. It's mine. Nuh-uh, I'm the one who found it. Yeah, but I picked it up first.
Yeah! Bridget.
Wow, you really do build a lot of bridges.
You're welcome.
I didn't say.
Well, I've got to go. There's lots of people out there needing my help. And just remember, if you two ever aren't getting along, don't let the gap stand in your way. All you have to do is just...
Bridget?
That's my name. Bridget.
It's Bible story time with Kellen. Hey, Kellen.
Hey guys, today's Bible story is a great one, so let's hop right to it. The verse is Colossians chapter 3, verse 15. Paul wrote, "Let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace and be thankful." Back to you guys.
Back to us? What do you mean? That was like 2 sentences.
3 sentences, actually. But yes, sometimes one little verse in the Bible can pack a whole lot into it.
Okay, but...
You want to unpack it?
That would be great.
Here it is again. Let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace and be thankful. It's like this. Meet Brian and Ava.
Where's my notebook?
I didn't take it.
Well, I can't find it anywhere.
That's not my fault.
If I don't find that notebook by tomorrow, I'm going to get a 0 on my homework.
Aw, bummer for you. I'm going to play with my friends. Goodbye.
Freeze. Brian and Ava are brother and sister, but sometimes, and I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes brothers and sisters fight. They're not at peace. So what would happen if they let the peace that Christ gives rule in their hearts? Rewind!
Where's my notebook?
I haven't seen it.
Well, I can't find it anywhere.
Have you checked the kitchen?
Yes, but if I don't find that notebook by tomorrow, I'm going to get a 0 on my homework.
Well, I was going to play outside with my friends, but I guess I can help you look instead.
Thanks, Brian.
See the difference? Instead of letting anger and fear be in charge, they let peace take over. Peace ruled their hearts, and that's how it should be. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace. That means making peace is our responsibility. Like this.
I want grilled cheese for dinner.
I want tacos.
Didn't we just have tacos?
Yeah, but tacos are my favorite.
Grilled cheese is my favorite.
So what do we do? Grilled cheese tacos.
Grilled cheese taco? Isn't that a quesadilla? Anyway, Ava and Brian, they did something called compromise. They both gave up a little bit of what they wanted to make peace. It's important to remember that even when we disagree, we can still have peace with each other. So let's see that verse one more time. Let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace and be thankful. Back to you guys.
Awesome.
You were right, Kellen. One Bible verse packs in a whole lot, and all we have to do is remember it now.
Yep. Next time you're in an argument, don't let your anger take charge. Let the peace that Jesus gives rule your heart.
We'll try, Kellen. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
See you guys.
Bye.
Brandon,
Yes, Lawson?
I don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I'd much rather have peace. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too. Come here, you. We're never going to have a conflict ever again because we bridged it. We bridged it.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
Let's
It's
take
not going to happen
Let's take it
anymore.
All right. Let's take it one episode at a time, if that's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reveal the question.
Who do you need to make peace with?
Whether it's a sibling, a co-host, a parent, a teacher, a friend, a neighbor, a grandma, second cousin once removed, second cousin twice
You
removed.
get the picture. We all had a lot of different types of people and relationships in our lives.
Or a hot dog vendor, or a disc jockey, or a mail carrier, or a used car salesman, or a
Talk about it together. Who do you need to make peace with?
Or a babysitter, or a mountie, or that woman who hands out that samples at the grocery store that you just eat them all the time and you just can't stop and you can't stop.
I'm
until you
Brandon.
and I am Lawson.
And this was the So-and-So
So-and-so
Show. Do you have any more?
No.
All right, see if you can guess the answer to this. How many noses does a slug have?
3.
No, that's close to. They have 4 noses. The fingerprints of a koala are so indistinguishable from humans that they have on occasion been confused at crime scenes. A snail can sleep for 3 years. Oh man, I envy him. The only animal that can't jump is the elephant. 3% of the ice in Antarctica glaciers is penguin urine. Okay, good night, everybody.
Oh, hey kids. How's it going? I'm so glad you're here. I just planted a nice little tree and I'm waiting for it to grow. So if you want to wait with me, you totally can. Okay, this is taking forever, right? Okay, I mean, like, why should we wait this long for a tree to grow? I mean, I planted it just like 5 minutes ago and there's still nothing here. Like, what are we waiting on? Oh, you know what? Water, right? Plants need water. I'll be right back. Okay, got it. Here you go, little plant. Drink up. Oh, it's still not anything. I thought the tree would grow. It just needs water. I mean, what else does it? Oh, you know what? I know what'll help. 1 second. Okay, so my mom always told me that if I ate my vegetables and my greens, that I'd grow really big and strong. So here you go, tree. now. Oh, you know what? I have another idea. 1 second. Sleep. Sleep and rest is one of the most important parts of growing strong and growing your little body. So I figured, you know what? Why don't I read the tree a bedtime story so it falls asleep and grows while it's sleeping? Here we go. And the nice Mr. Duckling put each little duck to bed. One by one they dozed off. Duckling little one went quack, 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 quack. Duckling little number 2 went quack, 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 quack. Duckling number 3 and 4 went quack, 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 quack. And little duckling number 5 stayed asleep. The end. Are you kidding me? What's going on? Like, why won't this grow? When you plant something, it's supposed to grow, right? Like, I planted a seed in here. I've given it water. I've given it food. I've read it a bedtime story so that I can sleep and grow strong, and it's still not growing. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some research as to why my tree won't grow in here. While I do that, why don't you guys check this out? Come on, little tree. Oh man, well, I did some research online and it turns out that trees take a little bit of time to grow. Did you know that? Apparently, you plant the seed and you have to wait. Ugh, I hate waiting. Have you ever had to wait for something that felt like eternity? I mean, like maybe you were really, really, really hungry and it seemed like the microwave was taking forever to warm up your pizza rolls. Or maybe you've been on a car ride, like on a car trip, and you've been sitting in the car for so long and you've watched all the movies and you're tired of playing video games, so you ask that one question that you know is probably off limits, but it's all you can do because you're so bored before you just start kicking your little brother in the back seat, so you ask it. Are we there yet? What's the answer always? No, we're not there! I'll tell you when we're there! Waiting is hard. Waiting isn't always fun. Sometimes in life, you and I have to wait on things, and it can feel like it takes a really, really, really long time. But today, I want us to talk about this. Today, I want us to talk about what it looks like to wait. Sometimes we feel like we need everything right now. And when we're told we have to wait, well, we decide that what we're waiting around on isn't worth waiting for. But today, we're gonna talk about something that is totally worth the wait. Today, we're gonna talk about something that is totally worth the wait, but it's not always ready right now. Today, I wanna talk to you about something right now that was actually planned long ago, but it's going to affect what is to come. You see, today I wanna talk to you about your destiny. Boys and girls, God has a destiny for you. And not only does God have a destiny for you, but God has planned your destiny. What is a destiny, you might ask? A destiny is a plan for your future designed specifically for you. You have a destiny. You were made with a purpose. You were made on purpose, for a purpose. Kind of like this. Do you know what this is? It's a mirror, right? Every day you can wake up. You can get out of bed. Figure out what that taste is that feels like you swallowed a cat in the middle of the night. You know what I'm talking about? Get out of bed, stretch a little bit, walk over to your mirror and say, oh wow, I look good. I look really good. And this mirror helps you see what you really look like. That's what a mirror is made for. A mirror is made to reflect what you look like. That's the purpose of a mirror. A mirror is made with a purpose for a purpose. And every day we use it just to show us what we look like. You have a purpose. You were made on purpose for a purpose. Now, how do we find our purpose? Because purpose doesn't just fall out of the sky and hit us on the head. Ow! Ow! What was that? Ow! 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 What's going on? Miss Connie? What are you doing up there?
Oh,
Oh, hey, Mr. Tyler. One sec, I'll be right down.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this?
Oh, hey, Mr. Tyler.
Oh, Miss Connie, why are you dropping purses on my head?
Well, today we're talking about finding your purses, and so I thought I'd help by bringing some purses for you today.
No, Miss Connie, I didn't say purses. I said purpose. Purpose doesn't fall out of the sky and hit you on the head.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm positive.
So you don't need my whole stash of purses that I brought in on that truck.
No. Take it all back, okay? Thanks, Miss Connie.
Bye.
Ow. That was crazy. I didn't say purses. I said purpose. Like, purpose doesn't just fall out of the sky. Ah! Oh! Ah! Ow! Oh! What was that?
Oh, hey, Mr. Tyler.
Hey!
Hey!
What did you do?
Oh, you saw that?
I didn't see it coming.
Well, you said today that we're talking about my purchases, so I decided to help you and bring all my purchases that I've recently made and bring them so that we can tell the kids about how to find my purchases.
No, Miss Connie, I didn't say purchase. I said purpose. Like, it feels like you're trying to hit me on purpose. So you can take all your bags and go.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay.
Bye.
Sorry.
Purpose. Said purpose. Anyway, like I was saying, purpose doesn't just show up overnight. It's not something that you can order online and have overnight shipped to your house to put on your porch the next day. Although that would be awesome, it doesn't work like that. And yes, that can be frustrating because if you were made on purpose, for a purpose, but you don't know what that purpose is, then how are you supposed to live out the destiny that God has for your life? Well, that's what we need to talk about today because it's gonna sound a little crazy and this is kind of gonna be the hard part, but in order to find our purpose, we're gonna have to be patient. That's right, you heard me. In order for you and I to find our purpose, then we're gonna have to be patient. Now, please hear me. Don't go to the top of your roof, jump down, break your leg, go to the hospital, get a cast, and tell your mom and dad that you had to be a patient in a hospital in order to find your God-given purpose. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the kind of patient I'm talking about. I'm talking about patience, like waiting. The kind of patience that the Holy Spirit helps us have. Patience will help us to produce our purpose. If you don't believe me, let's look at Joseph in the Bible. If you want to talk about purpose, then Joseph is our guy. You see, Joseph discovered his purpose and lived out his destiny as second in command over all of Egypt. Joseph had a purpose, but not right away. You see, God showed Joseph a dream of what his destiny was, and it was amazing. But did Joseph step straight from his dream into the destiny that God had for him? No. Joseph actually had to go through a lot of things before he was able to step into the destiny that God had showed him, because that dream was just a glimpse of the destiny that God had for him. And Joseph, well, he had brothers. And Joseph, he was sold into slavery by his brothers, and he was taken to Egypt and he worked for someone named Potiphar. And although he was a really good worker for Potiphar, Potiphar's wife accused Joseph of doing something that he didn't do. So Joseph went from working for Potiphar to prison. And while he was in prison, he stayed there a while. And he waited 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 and he waited. And the whole time that Joseph was in prison, he never doubted for 1 second that God didn't have a destiny for his life. Joseph just had to be patient. You and I, in order to find our destiny, need to be patient. But not only do we need to be patient, we need to be patient while knowing that God's promises are true. So what are some of God's promises to us? Well, he promised to never leave us. He promised to fight our battles. He promised that no matter where we go, his presence would stay with us. He promised that what he begins, he would finish. God is really good at keeping his promises. You can be patient and know that God's promises are true. You can be patient and know that God is in control. Joseph knew that God was in control. Whether he was a slave in Potiphar's house or a prisoner in jail for so many years, or a foreigner in a foreign land being asked to stand before Pharaoh to interpret his dreams, Joseph never once doubted that God wasn't in control of his life, that God's promises weren't going to come true. Joseph knew that he could trust and stand on the fact that God always keeps his promises. You know, you have an enemy who wants you to believe the opposite. You have an enemy that not only hates the plans that God has for your life, but he hates you as well. And he would love nothing more than to make you believe that God is not in control. This enemy loves to come around and make a mess. He likes to try and convince you that you don't have a purpose. And if he can't convince you of that, then he wants to convince you that although you have a purpose, you're not good enough to live out that purpose. Boys and girls, you were made on purpose for a purpose. But the truth is, sometimes in life, things can get messy. Things can start to go crazy. And, well, like I said, the enemy loves to make a mess. And sometimes it can get a little messy, just like Joseph in his life. His family sold him into slavery. The people who were supposed to love him and protect him and take care of him hurt him. Maybe that's been you before. Maybe you thought that the people who loved you the most and would always take care of you and were supposed to be there for you ended up being the ones who either intentionally or unintentionally caused you hurt and pain on the inside of your heart. And that enemy that I talked about, he likes to come in the middle of a mess and look at all the broken pieces and start to point out and say, look at this. Look at this mess. This is way too messy. Like, you think God could use you? He likes to point out the broken pieces and make you feel bad about them. He's a liar and he's no good, and he'll do whatever it takes to keep you from living out the destiny that God has for your life. But sometimes we can believe him. Sometimes we can start to believe that because of the mess that's been caused in our lives by outside circumstances or people that have hurt us, we can start to think that maybe God doesn't love us, or that God does love us, but he's not in control, and God doesn't have a purpose for us. And that is a lie. That is a lie. God has a purpose for you. And sometimes you and I can get caught up on the broken pieces. Why, God? Why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? I don't know. We live in a broken world that's full of sin, and bad things happen that I will never be able to explain. But please don't for 1 second ever forget that God is in control, that he sits on a throne, and although there may be brokenness and hurt and pain in this world, it doesn't change the fact that God has a destiny for you, that God has a plan for your life. And his plan can't be thwarted or put on pause because of the mess that other people or other things can bring into our lives. It's easy for us to look at the mess and try and figure out, why did this happen? But you have to understand, not only do you have a God who has a plan for you, you also have a God who specializes in broken pieces. If you would just sit and wait and believe that the same God who moved Joseph from a prison to a palace is the same God who says, I got this. The same God who says, I know what I'm doing. I have a plan. And you trust his promises, that he has a plan, that he won't leave you, that he won't forsake you. Then in that waiting, as we're being patient and allowing God to do what only God can do, then as we're patient, that patience slowly but surely will produce our purpose. You see, even in all the pain even in all the mess, while we were patient and trusting that God's promises are true, that God wouldn't leave us alone with all the broken pieces, that the God who specializes in broken pieces was still working. In that patience and in that waiting, God was working on something new. See, God can bring you to your destiny. God knows what he's doing. Look at this. God knew what he was doing the whole time. Look, he can use all of the pieces, all of the broken parts that felt random to make something beautiful. You have a purpose. You have a destiny. And the best part about your destiny is that just like this reflects the light that hits it, you were made to reflect the love and light of Jesus to everyone you meet. That is your destiny. As God shapes you and molds you into the image of his son, Jesus, when you walk in your purpose and you walk in your destiny, it will look like this. It will look like this, reflecting who God is to everyone around you. So, Mr. Tyler, are you saying that I have to wait till I'm really, really, really old and go through a lot of things in order to find my purpose and walk it out and live it? No, not at all, actually. You can walk in your purpose right now. You can walk in your purpose trusting that God's promises are true, and while you wait for him to continue to reveal what your destiny can look like, all you have to do is, well, keep your eyes on Jesus. You see, the Bible promises, this is what God says to his people, that if you look for me and search for me with all your heart, you will find me. So in our waiting, we just worship. We set our hearts, our minds, our attention, our affection on Jesus. We don't worry about our future, but we look at our Father, our loving Heavenly Father in heaven, and we trust that his plan for us is good, and we trust that in all things he's working for us, and that even if things get messy and even if things start to not make sense, that no matter what, we can continue to walk our path. We can continue to have patience, and that eventually, as we keep walking and keep running towards him and looking for him, that our purpose will be revealed. Do you want to know what your purpose is? All you have to do is ask. That's what I want us to do today. I want us to ask God to reveal his purpose for our lives. Just like Joseph, God gave Joseph a dream, a glimpse of his future. And the dream was just a small picture of what God actually wanted to do in Joseph's life. But God loves to show you what he has for you. All you have to do is ask him. So would you bow your heads and close your eyes? God, I thank you that you're a God who has a plan. I thank you, you're a God who has a purpose for every single boy and every single girl in this room. And God, I pray today that you would speak to us. That just like you spoke to Joseph and you showed him a glimpse, you gave him a dream of what his purpose and what his destiny looked like, God, I pray that today you would show that to us. And God, I pray that as we take a path that could look like Joseph's, where it's filled with pain and it's filled with waiting and it's filled with ups and downs and turns and twists, God, I pray that even on that path, you would help us to not grow weary, but that we would patiently wait, knowing that in all things you are working for us, that in all things you are with us. And God, I thank you that no matter what we do, or no matter where we're at, God, we can reflect the love and light that you have for us towards everyone we meet. It's in Jesus' name. Amen.